besar. Selamat datang para penonton, di sini kita semua bersenang-senang. Soldier Kiyong hadir di layar, sambutlah dia dengan senyum segar. Orang-orang baik datang bergabung di live streaming Faisal, semua dipadu. Kiyong di sini, don't you worry, mari menari dengan irama serasi. Soldier Kiyong bawa keras the vibes, lagu-lagu reggae buat kita high. Di video live kita semua connect, selamat datang teman, jangan pernah resah.
Halo genggi, semuanya welcome in my stream. Halo Nyil, welcome in my stream. Waktunya kita nonton ini dulu. Harapan dunia ini nih. Harapan dunia ini penting juga nih soalnya. Kita akan lihat RRQ versus berarti
has to do it. They pick up the Hilda, they pick up the Suyo. If I'm RQ at this point, do we lock in the Joy?
Win rate on Joy is still very good, especially against
Indonesia lawan Indonesia.
Scissors,
Nanti semuanya ini
contemporary, and there it is, putting it in the hands of the mercenary. I don't see this getting flexed. No way. I don't think Dyron is the kind to pick it up just because it's clear as day. This is going into the hands of Sutsujin. Going to the ban, second phase. Coach Kez taking out the Belleric, which is again a solid counter to the Joy and the Cho. You just stand in the middle, rather than Dryad. Stop this nonsense.
This is going to be challenging. I mean, already having the Cho on your side, that was something that could have gave the Joy a little bit of trouble, but now it's going to work in RQ Hoshi's favor. You know who else is available? The Tig. And I wonder if TLID is going to try and take that away, because if they lock in that Tig, they flex this Cho into the XP lane, they have some great defense, especially with the Hilda, who's going to want to invade in that jungle. But Joy, we've seen the mobility, we've seen the farm rotations. It's hard to match up with.
I will say this.
Obvious, Halid. Gue kemarin sih ketemu Halid, gue teriak-teriak ya, walaupun menang. Bete banget Halid. Niat banget loh buat jalan-jalan kemana-mana.
It's considered, you know, like the pick for Edok here, and RQ loves this a lot. And what's surprising me is
tapi gue bangga sih, maksudnya Indo tuh lolos sampai jauh ini dua-duanya. Kan ada yang nggak lolos playoff game series. Syukurlah kalau misalnya mereka tuh lolos. Berarti bisa dibilang Eskud itu pelatihnya Rarity itu ini apa namanya? Bentar, suara gue pasti.
A heavy dive-centric composition from RQ Hoshi. Not only do you have the AOG from the top, but you also have this Cho who's going to dive in and look for those solo.
Sorry, suara gue pasti masih mau babi buta. Karena habis live TikTok.
To kind of worry about as well. Right now, not really the best ultimates I'd say for the Valentina to profit on so far.
They go for like Hylos and Subathon, or Hylos Beatrix, Hylos Harith, or Chip.
Okay. Chip.
Big change
Dan Harit.
So far we've only really seen Chip use as a specific answer or a strat defining, rotation defining pick. And of course the return of Harith. What do they close the draft up with?
Oke.
A Claude. What are they trying
Claude
to find
keluar.
here?
I mean, you get the Purify, you get the Escape, you have some ability, you have mobility, and if there's, you know, Skylar's up there in the echelon where he could pull it off.
All right.
Apakah
Gentlemen,
Aran,
the draft has been settled.
The
Game's
King
about to begin. Let's
Aran
throw it over to Ingan and
akan
tonight.
sama seperti dahulu-dahulu kala?
Thank you so much, panel, for breaking it down. Welcome
Seorang
back
yang
to the English
pemberani.
casting desk here again. I'm Naisu, and this is Ingan, and we're ready to bring you the second match of the day. Maybe we get 5 games again, Ingan. You know, we just had an amazing series conclude with Fnatic.
Ya udah, ya. Aku butuhnya suara in game.
The first one, at least from Indonesia, to move forward to the top 4. How are we liking the
Butuhnya
draft?
suara in game.
I like the fact that there's a chip. Chip has been utilized a lot by highly macro teams in terms of getting the objectives that they need, and at the same time going for the split pushes. So it's interesting how TLID will play upon this chip.
We'll see if the chip's gonna work or not. It's the Kings versus the Champions. Who will reign on the world stage, and it starts here in game number 1. Again, a best of 5 to decide the fate for the 2 teams from Indonesia.
Dibantuin.
Taking a look once again.
Bedanya Sujin dibantuin XP, ini dibantuin itu, cuma tetep aja cepet ya. Waduh, Idok.
You know, Idok, man, we've seen him so much on the Cho. A lot of teams, they have decided to go ahead and go with this pick.
Riz.
Make it work. It does give a lot of crowd control, obviously, but the pickoff potential is great. Early on, too, I mean, it looks like they're already making moves.
Okay, they're trying to make a move on to Idok. Idok has to walk away. Here comes the Revitalize, though. And now RRQ, Hoshi turning things around. Might be able to work on Widdy. Here comes Yesgil. Lantern Flare. Gonna try and work on Dryren.
Sekarat semua.
A lot of sustain, a lot of damage. But here comes Sutsujin, though. Not at level 4. But they're able
Satu
to
orang mati. Idoknya masih selamat. Dairnya harus mati.
TLID and RRQ.
Rin.
Oh, Fabian, little stutter step there, but now still going to break it out. Suzujin,
a
couple shots with the Soul Sever. He gets punished. It's a double already for Fabian.
Flavor Fave, a double kill. A bit of an overextension then from RRQ Hoshi. Even
Tyler
Suzujin isn't level 4 yet. So that was just a huge play coming in from Fabian.
I mean, such an extended skirmish already. You know, that's what that really broke out
Pede
to.
banget
Lihat.
Pede banget lihat.
Revitalize available. Mind you,
Pede
we've been
dia.
seeing teams do this where they have the double revitalize options, and that's Team Liquid this time around. And even Dyrant, you know, he had his own, but that's what those fights and those early skirmishes are going to do. Now, how does that play into the first objective? A little bit of a lead right now for Team Liquid ID, but the fight might break out when he does take a couple shots. Lantern still to throw everybody from RQ around, but the turtle is up, and now it's going to be started up. Both teams getting in position. Fabian will hold the turtle half health for now.
Even now, Sutsujin isn't still level 4, so Fabian might be able to get the turtle, a free one for
Suzunya belum level 4.
No trade once again from RRQ Hoshi.
What's difficult here for RQ Hoshi, hold on, Aran, okay, Idok's out of there, is not only playing against double revitalize, but also the purifies.
Diambil bluenya.
They have to be able to go ahead and follow through with the catch. Oh, not even that. But also just playing against Witty the
Early-nya
Wise.
kalah.
The chip has worked for some
RRQ
teams.
early-nya kalah.
Honestly, for others, it's also been a
Tapi nggak tahu sih.
kind of double-edged sword.
Scalarnya
Pick
belum
up this
tersentuh
chip,
soalnya.
And you bring it to a certain draft, a certain gameplay style.
Tapi
Now, up
Puri
top,
2 orang
still
ya.
focused, trying to keep Susujin under control on that Joy pick, but that's the thing. I'm really interested to see how Team Liquid decides to go ahead and use the chip. It's literally bringing in the cavalry to some of the fights, but are the punishes enough? Does RQ have enough to go ahead and punish when that shortcut comes through?
Honestly, it's just a bonus if ever Widdy performs or executes a beautiful shortcut, because right now, looking at the gold level gap of Fabian Sutsujin, that's 2 levels ahead for the Suyo. We all know Sutsujin with the Joy, it's gonna scale up later on, but how will you make it reach if this is TLID? The aggression just keeps on continuing and continuing for TLID.
For RQ, they're going to hold on to their own shortcut. That's always an option that Rins has with this Valentina pick. Really just not, not anything too crazy happening. Even the fact that you have Idok on the Cho, it's kind of just getting stopped in his tracks just because of Yehezkiel has this Jushin. We've seen this quite a bit.
Thunderbolt.
They're able to go ahead and just stop Idok from trying to set things up. But really, you don't really want to unless Susujin has the ability to go forward. Fabian will keep Idok in check. Purple buffs up now.
Astagfirullahaladzim, sakitnya itu Aran.
This is just what's going to continue to happen. You already talked about the level gap, but Fabian now working on this purple buff. And that's just going to go ahead and get taken. Turtles up. Meanwhile, Susagen working on the orange. Is going to get spotted out. They might break into a skirmish. They'll fight.
They're going to commit. The way of the dragon. Aran has to use the revitalize. Here comes Yazkiel to the rescue with the Crimson Beacon.
Sakit banget.
AOG used defensively. No casualty for RRQ.
Hero-nya masih selamat. Cuma ultinya udah kebuang.
To the point that Aran, even if he overcommits, he's not gonna fall down. He's gonna do his job properly, which is to delay as much as possible the Joyce power spike later on.
Even in this matchup, making his way. They know Aaron Shiki's there. Can he actually withstand this?
Blazing to it, but Aaron Shiki also has his Diamond Force. Here's come Witty though. He's trying to work on Idok. Idok commits the pick, but he's gonna get bursted down. Coming in from Aaron Shiki got the lead and also
Dapat
3
gol,
members ganging
gak
up
rugi.
Witty the wide.
Nice.
Fall down in the hands of Sutsujin.
There's RQ Hoshi. They get 2 kills in the exchange. It looked like the shortcut came through.
Limitnya hancur sih.
Did get taken
Gak
down.
tahu nih hitungannya rugi apa enggak ya.
Gets an objective. Surprising too, Skylar able to go ahead and withstand that.
Hitungannya rugi aja sih sebenarnya.
Now Aaron joins the fight, can crash down on Riz. Another turret gets dragged back.
Sama
Aran
mati
will get the
midnya.
kill.
Where did Aran come from? All of a sudden, Rins just got bursted down, and TLID, they already got the mid lane turret. Okay, Idok commits the kick onto Flava Fave. Will he be able to escape though? Here comes the Sever. It's gonna hurt quite a bit. Aran still has the power of Wild Wilderness.
Skylarnya masih level.
You're gonna take this. We'll see this time around. Susagen's just here, just around the corner. Might actually just lose it again. There's a lot of pressure on that side of the jungle, and right now, even though RQ Hoshi finds a couple kills, TLID holding on comfortably to the lead that they have.
3000 leadingnya, jauh banget.
Decisions that they have whenever they have shortcut available.
Dapat gold sih, cuma midnya hancur. Bawahnya juga hancur sekarang.
And it's up to RQ Hoshi to decide on how they want to approach this. They might just give up all 3 turtles and just try to play catch up. We know that Skylar on the Claw needs more time to build up to get the items that he needs in comparison to a Harith for Aaron Shiki. Well, right now,
Aran sini nyebelin ya, Aran ya.
That might help him dealing a little bit with this, the Jushin across from him, but so far we really haven't seen those setup kicks that we're looking for from Idok like we've seen previously, as now the 3rd turtle is locked in, secured for TLID.
Yeah, and I actually like to go back to your point, because the reason why Idok is having a hard time or having trouble with finding those angles is because of the constant pressure Yazkiel has been putting onto him. And even Aran, every single burst that he can find, he's going to go in and try to get Idok out of position. So far, TLID, not just controlling all the neutral objectives, also getting a lot of ground covered for their side.
I'm surprised at just how methodical this is, and that's why it's a little bit slower paced, just because TLID, they know their advantage. They can go ahead and play around the macro level. They don't have to force any fights. A lot of the times, they're just kind of responding. As long as they keep Idok in check and he's not doing what he has to do on the Cho, they don't really have to force anything. They just whittle down the turrets, get the space they need, focus on taking the buffs if they can, or at least putting pressure there.
Lihat Aran.
Tapi
Tapi Aran terbocor sih sama Cloud.
Nothing action-packed has happened in the last 2 minutes or so, but they continue to build up on the gold lead that they have. So it's RQ Hoshi that has to kind of stop the bleeding here.
Okay, electrifying beats for Susagen. Trying to keep TLID at bay. They might go for Idok. Lantern Flare is going to connect, forcing Idok to use the flicker. Here comes Rin, so he has his own Crimson Beacon. And now RQ Hoshi still standing their ground. They're not going to let the 2nd-tier turret get taken down.
And they hold on to it, but again, they're just really holding on at this point.
Waiting
for that lore to come up, and with TLID having the lead they do, they should be able to go ahead and secure things. Finally working on the tier 2. They'll whittle this down a little bit with Aaron Shiki. It looks like RQ Hoshi doesn't want to let it go, though. They will clear out the lane and keep the turret up. But still, the rest of the pressure is just going to stay there again. For TLID, knowing that they can just let RQ Hoshi respond. This time, Rins is holding on to his own beacon. Idok, though, takes a couple shots. Aaron's going to jump in.
It's the power of Wilderness. Now he has to walk away. Because he has to respect the damage coming in from RRQ Hoshi, but that was more than enough for TLID to secure higher ground in this Lord pit. Again, they're just really controlling the mid lane, the bottom lane, and now even the minions are going to take down the bottom lane turret.
You can see that. Again, a previous record, it's beaten by 1 second now. fastest level 15, and that's just going to be another objective. But they go in with a shortcut. Are they going to be able to follow through? That's already the Lord taken. The shortcut to come up. They don't get any kills, but they might fight here.
They commit the kick, but is it going to be enough? Though Skylar goes in with a blazing
Belum
duet.
ada damage.
Onto the back line with a Salmon Force, going to be able to take down one more. AOT going to be used up defensively. Yes, kill on the other hand, going for Dyron. They're going to evade a potential.
Oh.
Fabian says no, we want more, and brings down 2.
Oh man, you heard it earlier. He said, be careful. Goes in, gets a kill, and now with the Lord in favor, it's looking a little dire here for RQ Hoshi trying to defend the base.
Okay, they're ganging up on Edog.
Waduh.
Lantern Flare is there. Edog has to walk away. The
Sakit
damage
bang.
is chunking up a lot of his health. Energy shields will be popped in the middle lane. And onto the bottom lane, RQ Hoshi. They have to think about how to
Capek
clear
banget
this
itu,
floor as
siapa
fast
namanya?
as possible
Suzinya.
without suffering any inhibitor turret takedowns.
Here, they might be able to go ahead and clear this out again.
Ini
Only the
kalah.
first Lord, RQ Hoshi, makes work of it.
Ini
But they do
Soyunya
lose
juga.
space, more space around the map. They already didn't have a
15,
lot
bro.
to work with. But that goal lead continues to build up as Team Liquid ID just keeps punishing RQ Hoshi's positioning, and that's all utilizing the shortcut. I mean, that's exactly what it is. You know, 1 minute they're taking the Lord, next thing you know, here comes Team Liquid ID through a portal, crashing down. And RQ Hoshi, they don't have an answer for it just yet. You know, even Skylar, he needs time to continue to build up. He's got the Corrosive Scythe and DHS still working on the next last item here to really come online, that Trinity for the Claude. So they're just kind of lacking some damage. Part of that was in due too, that Suzujin was just
Sakit
getting a
banget,
hard time
sakit
in the jungle,
banget.
man. He was gapped early on and until now, quite behind Fabian.
Yeah, the first 2 kills that Fabian picked up onto the early game was really crucial because that opened up a lot for TLID, not to mention that they were able to take down the mid lane turret even before the 3rd turtle respawn. So Sutsujin's jungle has been exposed rapidly, and I just noticed Aaron Shiki already has a death. And now they're trying to go for Yuziko, forced to use the Crimson Beacon. Skylar going in with a blazing duet. Now they're going to work on Fabian. There's the
Set.
hit, but Winnie going in with a shotgun. They're
Datang.
going to be able to break down. Yes, kill in Fabian.
Whoop,
Here comes
datang
the
baru
kill.
Duckwell.
Trying to answer
Whoop.
back, working on Aaron Shiki. Rins used to the Crimson Beacon to walk away, but Dyron
Aaron.
is going to get
Aaron
tackled by
masih
TLID. For the price of
2-1
Skylar, they were able to take down Yezkiel and Fabian.
There we go, RQ Hoshi able to find something. Yes, Skylar went down, but that was a fight that they decided to
Dapat
take. They jump on in,
junglernya
and they
sih.
follow through from Dyron. But man, do they have ground to cover. Even looking at the gold rankings here between the heroes and the lanes, they have a lot of work to do. Even for Skylar, like I mentioned, he was nearly there for the 3-item power spike that is for the Claude, which just locked in the golden staff. But you don't want to go ahead and lose all those fights. If they can get a couple kills, that's great. But can they actually go face-to-face in a team fight?
Skylar udah mulai
It might be
berdamage ya,
better for them to go
ultinya
ahead
doang.
and continue to try to
Ultinya
farm
udah
out,
mulai
buy some more
berdamage
time
tuh.
in this game because of how one-sided the early game was. TLID will go ahead and start this up, and this is going to be a quick one.
Nah, Lordnya dilepas
Already
sih.
half health on the Lord, and RQ Hoshi
Nggak mau
going to
deh.
be too late to get in this side of the map. They will try to get the purple buff at least. You can see that too. Aaron Shiki picking up Divine Glaive enough too, just to take Dyron down, you know, to half health. So that's what's in store for RQ Hoshi as he get ready for this defense. Now, Ingon, are they going to get past this? Are they going to get past this Lord push in, being down this much?
I mean, it's still possible. Although I believe they're gonna suffer inhibitor turret takedowns. But again, I do want to commend Aran because Aran has been covering a lot of ground, providing a lot of vision for the side of TLID without even being taken down even once. 104 with the Hilda. Now the Lord later on will siege in the bottom lane. Let's see if RQ Hoshi, the Kingdom, can they defend it?
RQ's gonna have to do it. They get prepped and ready. Rin's holding on to the beacon himself, and Aaron Shiki jumps on in. Lord still making his way down the bottom side to clear out the waves.
Nggak tahu bawahnya ya.
Doesn't want to use the kick just yet, holding on to the way of the dragon. Lord's gonna go push in. Conceal gonna be used, but still keeping things under control, taking their time. Bottom turret now down. RQ Hoshi will clear that out. Mid wave now pushing in. We're gonna take this. Conceal's already gonna be used.
Oh, okay. Here comes Arando onto the back. Ida commits the kick. Plus the blazing duet, will they be able to take down more? Arana is going to fall down. Skylar with the blazing duet to try and clear out the minions. Sutsujin, Dyron is down. TLID trying to work on bringing down the crystal. But RRQ Hoshi manages to defend the onslaught of TLID. Fabian goes in. Enoch has to walk away.
Whoop.
But there's a Winter Crown. Two Winter Crown plays. Skylar might be able to escape, but Enoch
coming in at the end to get the triple. This game, he might not have been invincible, but man, did he come through in game number 1. 14 minutes, 2 seconds in. Very, very strong showing for the series already for the Cavalry. And it looks like
satisfying banget,
will have to readjust from this, come together and be able to secure Susagen in the jungle a little bit earlier on, because that was where things fell apart the early game. Can they make that happen? The panel, let us know what you guys think about game number 1 in this best of 5.
A very fast opener.
LID emang nggak ada lawan sih. LID tuh gelo. Tar. Albert keluar dari Onyx, bro. Kunjung piala BL-nya banyak banget. Kenapa begini, anjir? Ibu-ibu lagi ngapain sendiri? Kita akan merindukanmu. Ini dong.
These 5 secrets will make your life much easier in Manor Lords. Houses get market supplies starting from the nearest ones, so you should always expand away from the market. Or your new houses will take the goods instead of the ones that have families inside. More workplaces are better than one with more families. For some reason, half of the time some people are just not doing anything. Small fields are easier to handle. People sow them faster and harvest them faster, so you'll waste fewer resources if you can't process your huge field on time. Assigning an ox to a farmhouse with heavy plow unlocked will block the field from all other workers except the one with an ox. So either prepare more fields or do not assign more than one family per farmhouse. You'll get 20 spears and 20 shields once you build 5 baggage plots and a storage. But instead of using them on your militia, simply build a trade post and sell them to boost economic and regional wealth, which is enough to add many house extensions and hire an army later to fight for you instead. These 5 secrets will make your life much easier in Manor Lords.
Apa artinya?
Market supply starting from the nearest one, so you should always expand away from the market. Or your new houses will take the goods instead of the ones that have families inside. More workplaces are better than one with more families. For some reason, half of the time some people are just... These 5 tips will help you get started efficiently in Manor Lords. Oxen become a bottleneck right away, so spending one lock on another hitching post and buying a second ox is a great investment you'll never regret. Vegetables will always cover the whole extension slot, regardless of its size, so you can invest in way more vegetables for your 15 coins by applying this extension for bigger plots. You don't need more than 3 stalls for your marketplace early on, as each stall supplies one family with 1 item up to 3 goods, and the max size is 50, which easily supports 16 families. Simply extend your market when you have more than that. The most important buildings for you are the granary and storage. Not only do they utilize carts which transport 10 goods instead of 1 like your normal people do, but they also supply marketplace stalls to keep everyone satisfied. Bandit camps are a great source of money and influence, so rushing a manor and getting tax, then hiring mercenaries to clean up the map will give you a huge...
Coba
ClickUp is an all-in-one
kita lihat
productivity software where you can
yang noob sama yang Oke. Ini noob. Berarti gua noob. Oke. Oke, ini noob, versi noob. Ini versi pro. Hah? Oke. Oke. Gak kepikiran juga ya. Oke. Bener juga ya. Ya jadi lahannya enak. Dasi. Bener juga ya. Oke. Oke, 3 rumah. Oke, dilurusin. Oke. Terus oke. Nggak maksud dia mau seperti apa. Jadi dia bikin sumur. Nggak tahu dia mau bikin apa. Oke. Oke, rumah dan tanah. Di remove. Ini diulangi. Oke, satu dijadiin kayak gitu. Oke. Oke. 2 tempat. Empat tempat. Maksud gue tuh rumah gak perlu banyak ya kan, tapi desanya produktif gitu. bikin kandang embe juga bagus, gede banget soalnya bro. Satu, dua, tiga. Jadi desa pertanian bro. Subscribe.
Kembali lagi bersama saya. Jadi dalam awal jadi penting untuk saja dunia kita dalam game ini. Ada berry, ada tempat harmless papi, kebo atau apa nih? Nah, ini penting buat ngangkat kayu. Oke, jika dua benda ini sudah kita upgrade, selanjutnya kita membuat yang namanya ini dia. Lodging camp. Ya. Oke, kita percepat saja di bagian bawah sini. Kali 12. Kita tuh
mulai lu.
Kind of stops that Valentina, I feel like, from coming out, 'cause it's not really the best ultimate to kind of profit off of with the Frigid Glacier. We are going to be seeing that CC knocked off the table. They're trying to limit the mobility. They don't want something to kind of match up with the mobility of this Hilda on the side of TLID.
More importantly, I think it's the damage profile that Liquid ID have to work out here. The fact that RRQ Hoshi are onto them, taking out the Lu Yi, would not be surprised if the Vixana follows up next, or even, dare I say, the Farsa. Does Yehezkiel have a Farsa in his arsenal to make up for it? Because between the Granger and the Suyo, that's just not enough. Like, you can't the Aurora nor the Frederick. What more an XP laner? What if Dyron picks up something chunkier? Is the Hylos open? Oh dear God, the Hylos
is still open. May get banned out here. Definitely a possibility, and I think that they don't ban it out, but TLID can pick it up on their oown side. Maybe go like
game lu.
CXP,
Enggak.
something of that nature. The Farsa
Game apa?
could definitely work.
Kamu boleh gini, boleh apa?
Fabian pick these long distance mages like the Eve. It shouldn't really
boleh.
But then they could also go into something like the Valentina. It's been a favor. It's been something that maybe fits their fast play style a little bit more. They still get the Frigid Glacier with that. So definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, RRQ Hoshi, they need something to get into the back line. Right now with the Fredrin, with an Aurora, with the Bruno.
It's very honest.
Yeah, it is honest, and it's not closers, right? They need somebody to be able to close that distance.
I don't know if there's room to switch up suddenly, throw that Fredrin into the XP lane. But they are closing up gaps. RRQ Hoshi watched when TLID brought out the double poke. So not on our watch. That's what they used to drop Aurora out of M6.
And it was a clean play.
Aurora keluar di M6.
Xavier came out, we were all like, huh? And then it just worked out so well. And that's the thing, TLID is able to play the early game. They're able to also push to a later game if need be. So RQ really needs to dig deep here. TLID first pick. Do they save? They don't have to pick Mage right now, right? Mage is already picked on the side of RQ.
Yep.
They could hold out, lock in the XP or roam right now, and there goes the Cho. So well done. There's your dive to the back line right there. There's your answer to catch the Bruno or catch the Aurora.
Can't even kick the Fred.
Yeah.
Melt them down before he can cause havoc.
And now we gotta ask how.
Dikasih tutor kah pakai Chow Idok?
I mean, Katat is still available. Ruby would be
They're
good
known
here.
to pick a Ruby on first pick.
Ruby Gatot.
They're known to do it, especially against a draft like this. This is actually almost the exact draft that they picked Ruby against before.
Ruby Gatot.
It's a strong frontline composition right now.
Ruby
From the
Gatot.
side of TLID, the Cho, the Hilda, the Suyo. Anything with crowd control could be a problem. Is Tig still available?
Tig is open.
There you go.
Take a Tig. Let's see.
Oh!
Shit.
Edok special. Throwing on a Benedetta for Dyron for good measure. So far unbeaten in M6.
And I like even the Benedetta, you get the Benedetta, and you get to make up, you get it to do damage EXP because you have a tank jungle.
All right. We're seeing here Aran, real quick before this pick gets locked in, doesn't like to eat nasi. He's not a big fan of rice. What he does like is durian, and he wants to try Milo cheese. I'll share a Milo cheese with you if you want to try that out. One more pick here. What's in mid for TLID?
Loyi.
Vexana?
I think you just go to Valentina here.
Valentina? You can take the I'm offended. It could work. You could go to the Vexana.
Frigid Glacier, you get the whole package possibly.
Wait a second.
That was that's a
Varia.
Wait a second,
that's a
Navaria.
Navaria. Another long range sniper.
It's still a poke, and it definitely helps with the setup because again, no bush is gonna be unchecked.
Dia still
with the way
ngepok-ngepok terus loh.
TLID drafted here. Game 2 has been locked in. I hope y'all are ready for the action. Naisu and Ian will be at your service for this one.
Thank you, panel, for
Ayo,
breaking down
ada
Game
Nike,
2's
ada
draft.
Nike, ayo, ada
I love
Nike.
it, man. I love it when new heroes obviously come
Ayo.
out for the first time throughout the tournament. This time around, it's Novaria. Ingan, it's been a minute since we've seen Novaria.
Man, they used the savior, now they want to go for another ranged artillery mage. The Novaria is back, could provide a lot of good vision for TLID.
Again, looking at this too, comfort pick still also for RQ. Is it enough to even out the series? That is the question as we get ready to load up into the land of dawn. Once again, RQ Hoshi wants to bring this to a victory. Now, based on their lineup, that's a little bit different, obviously. You know, I'm glad that we are seeing this Fredrin start to pop up once again, especially when you have a certain game plan and idea. How you approach the game. Look at this, Dyron and Aaron. Should be fine. Actually, hold on. Dyron looking for the kill. Does take a couple shots. Aaron's going to actually be able to back off. Still, Revitalize for both of them still available. And that's the thing, you know, some of this early action to start things up, but also to start things up for you guys at home. If you haven't yet, grab the M6 pass. It's
Dapat
now
blue dia.
hit level 75 for free up until December 29th. Make sure you go ahead and grab it while you can. A couple shots already to keep Edok in check. What do we feel about the Edok pick once again, this Ruby against that Cho?
I mean, it's a good answer whenever Widdy decides to dive. There's the Don't Run Wolf King that can disrupt.
Dapat blue dia, berarti empatnya lebih cepat ya.
Plus Wave the Dragon combination, just like what we're seeing right now coming in from RRQ.
What's interesting about this as well is the fact that, you know, I wish we had a count for how much damage is contributed, because that's 3 concussive blasts.
Retri udah keluar.
RQ Hoshi. And if they get the lockdown or the setup on the right moment, whether that's the Frigid Glacier, whether that's even just Edok setting things up, some of that concussive blast, if it's all procced at the same time, can actually close down.
Arahnya kurang adab. Aduh, kena pula. Aduh, mati ini si Jujin. Tas. Gak dapat 4 dia tadi.
Not going to be enough, but that'll be enough to go ahead and make them swing towards this turtle. TLID already off to a good start in the early game, trying to replicate what they did previously, and Dyron won't be able to do anything about it. So they go ahead and grab themselves the objective, and now on the purple buff. Trying to put pressure here to make things work.
Trying to work on Dyron, and
Orang enggak, dia
just
pulang.
looking at how the game's going right now, Arana
Orang
has been
soalnya.
playing phenomenal. Unbothered in his own lane. Important to note that Dyron opted for the Benedetta.
Oh, dibantuin 4 orang loh, bro.
Because he has the concussive blast and the Festival of Blood, and his battle spell is the Revitalize.
Anjing.
It's going to be crucial for him. Again, we've seen
Menakutkan.
iterations of the Benedetta already through even the Swiss stage and up to this point a couple different times. But that tankier Benedetta also depending on what kind of item build he goes to. Whoa, Dyron forced to pop that Revitalize just as we mentioned it. But now here,
oh, they're gonna catch Widdy. Here comes the taunt. And all of a sudden they bring down Widdy the Wise. Energy Eruption also connecting. That's why Widdy He didn't have time to react. He couldn't get away from RRQ.
That's why the Ruby's so good. You know, we saw this just recently, and it's a great pick. Edok loves to go ahead and play around this, and that's exactly what they have to do. They have to kind of catch people out from TLID, whoever that's going to be. Most of the time it is going to be Witty, because he's going to be the one trying to set things up. Now, if they do go for a Ron later on, then they need enough damage to follow through that, and they just don't have that right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, even when Skylar becomes online, you know, the fact that he already got an early kill will help him scale up against Aaron Shiki. But now Fabian,
Okay, one more Skylar. Didn't even have to use it as Fabian picks up the kill onto Dyren. Not a good start for this Benedetta.
Dia nggak punya ulti,
Fabian
bro.
only having the Hunter Strike. Does get a flicker out from his kill, so he's going to be fine. Witty also checking things out on this side of the jungle. Skylar joining him. Not sure if they're going to actually follow through. Witty half health, but the turtle's up. And they are everywhere. It just seems like there's a cavalry in every side of the map.
Nggak
Put
peduli sih si
pressure
atas.
all over RQ Hoshi as they go ahead and now rotate.
Bawahnya, Mas.
Too, that Fabian was able to manage to take up top, and that's why.
Bawahnya plating, atasnya plating.
Record in the previous game. We'll see if he's off to it doing the same here now. Turtles for the taking. A couple check shots here on Edok, but Rins wants to get a position for this Nair and will hold them at the bay right now as Fabian keeps things going. The rest of the team is already making their way here, though. They might want to break out a fight here.
That's a good Astral Echo, just a stun. And here comes the Jit Kondu combination. But Edok gets the turtle. Here comes TLID onto attack, though. Aran forced to revitalize. RRQ Hoshi still standing strong. They're forcing TLID to retreat, but Arando keeping RRQ Hoshi at bay.
Keeping them at bay, tanking enough. But hey, 1-1 for the Turtles right now. And RRQ Hoshi.
Tuh kalau tadi Idok nggak dapet, beda cerita tuh. Leading banget soalnya tadi. Bunuh arahnya. Nggak punya revitalis. Nice.
He's not gonna be able to out-sustain that. And that's gonna make Aran overthink, can I really out-sustain? Can I really dive deep?
You know, eventually, yes, he will be able to continue to do that. He just doesn't have much right now, you know? He's essentially still working on the first item. He's got the leg plates at least to help with some of the physical defense, but ultimately he needs more time. Even when the Revitalize is down, you know, and that's why the catch is so good from RQ Hoshi.
Yeah.
They just need to be able to follow through with the damage, and now the focus on this tier 1 in the bottom lane, the conceal.
Edok goes in, offended play. Rinto on the other hand, Widow for the backline.
Nggak berani depannya. Ininya nggak berani maju, bro. Dihajar Aran.
Great response from TLID.
Wow, they were feeling pretty good about that initiation, and then they got checked really quickly. I mean, even
dihajar Aran tadi, bro.
Rhapsody from Aaron Shiki, not where you want.
Dihajar ini.
So with that, they'll go ahead, kind of reset at this point. Wow.
2 kali.
From Yaskill, able to get it with the shot from down under.
And now they're going to gank up onto Dyren as they take down the bottom lane turret. Here comes Fabian with the stun. Even with the Revitalizer, cannot out-sustain 3 members of TLID.
You know, at this point, he is really going to feel like the ghost. You know, just kind of roaming around from a distance and then taking things from you out of your hands. Yaskill, once again, loves these long-range heroes.
Gak mau game panjang. Agresif banget.
And now, with the Novaria, this turtle, though, definitely going to the hands of TLID. Everybody not wanting to approach this area. They don't want to get whittled down. They don't want to get caught. Witty as well, holding down that front side with Aaron. So this is, once again, a lead for TLID that they can just capitalize on. Just like in the previous game, RQ Hoshi trying to scrap up what they can, and every time their flickers are down, they could get easily get taken down by a setup from TLID.
And just like that, Araj is going to hide in the bush, use the passive, heal up, and then continue his dominance, his over-aggression, providing a lot of vision for TLID. They do, however, have a 3.8k gold lead. Now they go on a conceal. They might go for Dyren down bottom.
They went down
Ya sih nggak kayak tadi ya.
Able to get back, disengages. Skylar is going to be the saving grace right now, at least in terms of this Bruno, already sitting at 2-0.
Widingnya langsung itu, bro. Twilight.
Working on his next Malefic gun. Once he gets that, once that's locked in, he will be able to actually go ahead and fight with space and some of that extra range to keep TLID in check. But right now, they just need so much time because look at the pressure Fabian's doing alone by himself. They might try to go for Fabian.
They're trying to go for Fabian, though. But again,
Info. Benedetta nggak punya ulti.
play onto Aran, but Aran
Buh.
remains unbothered. As TLID, just look at the macro, just look at how they're controlling
Anti Quiras.
They have a tanky frontliners in Widdy and Aran. So right now, Araki Hoshi's having a hard time trying to
Info
respawn
Benedetta nggak punya ulti.
TLID as Aaron Shiki will get the turret up
Pas
top.
hancur.
Turret falls and
Pusing
TLID
rotasinya mau
looking
kemana?
for more, a couple shots always from a distance. And Yehezkel, all he has is a glowing wand. He's got the enchanted talisman at this point. So he's going to continue to build up. And Fabian, you know, you can already see the previews of the damage. That's why Leo was talking about the damage profile. You know, that was what's important for TLID. It's hard to play against that when you have this kind of range. You know, how do you approach these fights when you have to get in range to set things up if you're RQ Hoshi? You know, you're not going to be starting anything with this. Dyron.
Ada orang. Dibatalin. Ultinya hilang lagi.
Again with Star Shatter connecting onto Skylar, the proper target, and TLID. Winning with a kick, catching Enoch right away as they try to work on the Lord. And all of a sudden, TLID, they're stepping on the gas. Aran has to revitalize though. With the again with a conceal, he has the Jit Kundu when he committed though. TLID.
Aduh, daerahnya nggak.
Forced off. So with that, it is gonna reset. So doesn't matter. They go in for it.
Mati dia. Arahnya mati. Nice.
Energy eruption and Dyron finally has a kill. That's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. And Araki Hoshi kiting away the Lord.
Aran's out of this and now still fighting for this Lord. Getting in position. Dyron does have that revitalize available if he decides to kind of go in, tank things up. Winnie once again has the way of the dragon available.
Sakit. Mati si Sujin. Terlalu berani. Terlalu berani. Terlalu berani. Arannya hidup. Sakitnya. Anjir, deg-degannya.
But ultimately, what a fight for the Lord. Came down to
berani, anjir.
TLID will get that and
Lagi.
Aaron
Mati dia.
for his life won't escape from Ritz.
Imagine if that
terlalu berani, anjir.
next, the TLID is going to make quick work of the outer turrets. They did secure the Lord, but still Skylar remains deathless, 3-0-1. And when we approach the 15-minute, 16-minute mark, when it's really activated, and when Araki Hoshi starts to work around, starts to play around the fact that they have the Bruno, this is going to be crucial for TLID to end this early.
You can see it right there. You know, Skylar is up there on the damage meters. Like I said, he'd already had the Malefic gun.
Coba dapetin mid sih.
Eventually for that fight,
Bisa
Aaron
ya.
Shiki now picking up the Sky Piercer. So now this is where Aaron Shiki looks to go ahead and pop off, get the stacks. They're going to walk in with this Lord. And as long as Skylar has that space to work with, the only unfortunate thing is he doesn't have a flicker now. So he's going to rely on the peel of his team and also positioning. He'll go ahead and work on the Lord.
Mati dia. Terlalu berani tadi nampaknya, tapi ditukar dengan turret mid yang ada. Kali ini TLID harus sendiri. TLID siapa tadi namanya? Fabian harus sendiri berjuang di tengah sana tadi. Harus breakdown oleh 3 orang sekaligus dengan ultimate yang dikeluarkan oleh 2 orang pemain sekaligus. Tapi kali ini Widdy sendirian. Hampir saja tadi didapatkan, tapi kali ini Airo terlalu sakit. Coba untuk membunuh 1 orang, ditebein saja. Hop! Hampir. Aduh, Sujin. Nice, Darren Humming.
Oh man, Skylar almost got away, then they concealed, then the pole came through and he ends up dying in that clash. So a whole lot happening there. RQ Hoshi though, ultimately getting some important shutdowns and gold in their pockets. Maybe allowing them to go ahead and have a fair chance against the next Lord take. They've got plenty of time, about a minute or so to go ahead and readjust and recalibrate. But Team Liquid ID, you know, they want to fight. There was some positioning there too. And Aaron Shiki still has not gone down yet. So Skylar getting a little bit aggressive.
Anehnya sih ini yang bikin
he didn't have the flicker available, so he was doing that, you know, just a pure positioning and skill. So we'll see if he actually goes and adjusts his game plan now that he at least has a flicker. Still working on the next defensive item if he's able to get the Wind of Nature eventually. But right now he just doesn't have it. And you can see them slowly but surely, RQ Hoshi getting some work in this game done, but still, how do they fare?
Dia tahu kalau
against
si
the
Sujin
Lord?
udah gak bisa gendong,
I mean,
buffnya
looking
dikasih.
at the utility, they have yes kill with an Navari that can
Udah
provide
susah.
a lot of vision, a lot of slows, not to mention the Astral Echo increasing the hitbox of the members of RRQ Hoshi. So the Jeet Kune with the Way of the Dragon will connect properly.
Hop,
For TLID,
tipis.
Diamond trying to work on Fabian. The Lord has spawned. Let's see if
Ada
RRQ
Widi
Hoshi can
ternyata di
contest.
situ.
They are in that vicinity, so they're gonna wait. They're gonna kind of clear up that long lane. Aaron Shiki will go ahead and start this up. Rins picking up the
Si
witching
Sujinya
lantern.
udah
They want to get a position. Can see already use Witty.
udah
Going
ini
in.
mas.
Now
Hop,
they're gonna catch, so
ah,
Glacier is gonna
dua
connect
orang
to
kena.
Skylar on the other hand just
Nah, mati satu.
One member down, but exchange for Sutsujin. No retribution holder for RRQ and TLID.
Udah dong,
will get
udah dong,
more.
udah dong.
Pop
Nice.
the Pride of Ice. And
Udah,
the
udah,
Raven
udah,
clear
udah.
out to
Balik,
make sure
balik,
he
balik,
escapes,
balik,
but
balik.
TLID gets the Lord with a 4.7k gold lead.
Big Lord take again. Witty.
Si Sujin ini
starting
kenapa
things
ya?
up with conceal, goes in. But that's the thing. I mean, even Aaron Shiki himself, he's just kind of posting up with the front side and just popping off Rhapsodies and Destinatas. And no one wants to approach that. Just because how much he
Apakah
hurts.
kutukan
And so now
coba-coba
RQ
akan
Hoshi
terjadi
again on
di
this defense.
RRQ kembali?
They're gonna have to get ready for this. One of the difficult things about this, as you're seeing the shots come through from a distance, is TLID has so much vision. Not even just with a Novaria, but the fact
Wih.
that Aran is literally a walking vision. Like, he is the walking vision. He can spot
Di
people
bawah.
out and give that call to the rest of TLID. As
Skylar
now
si
Lord
OP
makes his
sih.
way on the top side. A couple shots. There's the
Dia
wind of
sakit.
nature for
Hop.
Skylar. See if that helps with the defense. There's
Hampir
the pull,
tadi.
but no follow
Doknya
through.
udah ngeluarin
Turret's
ulti.
gonna fall though. Lord finally going down. All base turrets
Defend
still
tengah.
up and okay for RQ Hoshi. But they lose all the tier 2s and now TLID. Do they take a disciplined
Defend
route,
tengah,
even
3
though
ke
they have
bawah,
this 7,000
2 ke
gold
atas.
lead? Looks like they'll do just that. They don't want to overstep. They're happy with what they got with that Lord.
Oh, kembali.
Eventually showing his quick hands, was able to avoid the I'm offended play from
Si
Edok.
Sujin jadi
Just one
RRQ.
dash. And now a successful defense still for RRQ Hoshi. They were able to save
Oh,
all inhibitor
hati-hati.
turrets. And now they're
Arannya
gonna
udah
try to
sakit.
look for a pick off there.
Udah nggak
Sujin uses
rasa
retribution to
kecuali
slow down Aran.
sama Bruno
While
ya.
Iron just keeping TLID at bay. Here comes Aaron Shiki with a Death Sonata.
Duh.
Trying to dish out the damage though, but RRQ Hoshi able to sustain that.
And that's all he has to do. Arana just keeps doing that, providing the vision, knows he can take shots, knows he has a revitalize, tanky enough, even with the Radiant Armor. Blade Armor too, still working on the next one. So that's something that RQ Hoshi has to deal with. It's just they have to force themselves to just not get out
Tapi
vision at
nanti
this point.
makin
But when
lama
you do
tuh
that, and you
makin
also
si
have
Sujinya
Novaria across
tebel.
you, just shooting from a distance. Divine
Makin
Blade
lama gamenya tuh
also
makin
picked
makin
up.
tebel si Sujin.
So this is the difficult part. As they get to these next lords, these later lords, depending on
Hitnya
how
declare dulu, daerahnya coba untuk lihat atas, ada orang apa enggak, idoknya coba untuk di all in.
Just look at the range.
That's why I said, how do you fight against this range, man? How do you even get in position? The only time it's going to happen is when you actually go and contest the Lord, because then, you know, you have a couple different angles to go from, but even just trying to get in that position, Team Liquid ID has done such a good job at just kind of setting things up.
Yeah.
You know, firing off from a distance, and that's why I said, as long as Aran is just in those bushes, in that side of the jungle, or even around the Lord Pit, you're not going to surprise them. You don't have like the Louis Yis or the chips to help you out with that.
Minimal atasnya kenalah
I mean,
satu.
the only surprise factor could come from Edok's I'm Offended Flicker play. We did, however, see Rins already execute a Flicker in Frigid Glacier combination. Unfortunately, only connected to Aran. So if ever they want to go up against a team with high vision, a huge amount of rage at the same time
Atasnya
damage,
belum bener.
they're gonna have to catch TLID off guard. They're gonna have to
Eh,
catch them by
Rins.
surprise, make an outstanding play, or even just isolate the damage dealers. Try to reach for yes kill and air on Shiki.
Well, this is where they
Tegang,
started up.
tegang,
We'll see if
tegang.
Edok is able to
Daerahnya
go ahead
keluar
and
dari
surprise
bawah.
TLID. Lord already started up. Witty
Langsung digas dong. Digas dong kalau kayak gini dong. Daerahnya datang, tapi udah nggak ada darah. Lihat. Oh! Oh! Dairan good! Ulang.
But RRQ will get the Lord.
3 members still alive for RQ Hoshi. Dyron able to get the Lord. But TLID, to go ahead and deal with this, clear out the lanes. It is a beefed up Lord at this point, almost 18 minutes in. But still, it was only Witty that went down, so the waves will get taken care of. We'll see again, Rins, Idok, Skylar still up. You saw the preview too. Skylar's hurting, man. You know, the amount of damage he's able to do with just one kick, one auto even, is definitely showing. It does have all the items that he needs, really. Even got rid of the boots. So now, Lord pushing in on the tier 2. There's the pull.
Kena. Bunuh. Ais. Rins. Rinsnya kejauhan. Tapi nggak apa. Aduh. Licin banget itu orang.
You take away the momentum RQ gained from getting that Lord.
I think, you know, even given this goal lead, it doesn't really matter. RQ Hoshi is in fighting form. A lot of the times it's more so of the surprise factor, and that's all on Idok for the most part. Even earlier on for that Lord fight, you know, Witty went in, but then it was just good team fighting from RQ Hoshi to actually go ahead. And then, yes, Dyron, the fact that he was able to buy time by taking the Lord, you know, that's enough to go ahead and bring yourselves back into the game, and all they need to do is really get past that 21, 22-minute mark, giving themselves a good position for the next Lord. Like I said, Skylar is exactly where he needs to be. Look at the damage already, even on Witty.
Mundur. Skylar.
They just have to play against this range, and who's going to be the one
Damage-nya ditambahin semua sama Sujin.
every single time. It's Susujin and Idok both playing that part. Maybe Dyron to an extent too. Has an endless battle alongside with him, and just basically a hybrid build, you know, even with the Thunder Belt, Hunter Strike, and Team Karaf, so that build's not going to work.
Idoknya udah ulti.
The work's cut out for them, you know, it's not easy sailing at all, but they will go ahead and get prepared because the battle is going to break out for that Lord 30 seconds from now.
You really have to find
Skylar.
a huge
Juga jaraknya jauh banget.
regardless whoever it is. RQ Hoshi, they don't have the advantage here in terms of poke. TLID is well ahead. Vision provided by Aran and by the Astral Echo is on their side. So RQ Hoshi, they need to save up the battle spells, the flickers for the I'm offended.
Pulang nggak sih, Dok?
Can get to go for the backline and pop Aaron Shiki Spearfire early on.
Idok's got it again as long as that flicker and I'm offended is available. Oh, top side though.
Okay, they're gonna commit the kick onto Dyron though. Dyron buying enough time, trying to work on Fabian. Off is revitalized. Sujin and the rest are here to defend.
Nice. Fabian mati satu. Lord. Come on. Going to Lord.
Down and the Lord is up.
Sujin.
RQ Hoshi play into this. Maybe it's just enough to buy them a little more time because TLID will get in position to defend this and stall this out until their jungler is back up. So with that, RQ Hoshi, good pickoff, good usage of Dyron there on that Benedetta. But things will go into place. Skylar getting in position. They get the call to start it up. Fabian's still 20 seconds away. They go in.
When he connects the wave of the dragon onto E-Dog. A double kill coming in from Aaron Shaky. Working on Dyron. Pops his wind of nature. It's going to be a one-on-one.
Lihat Dyron. Lihat Dyron.
That's an Abba is there. And they bring down Sujin. Who's going to get the Lord? RRQ. TLID. The stuns are there. They're going to bring down Winnie. Aran will fall down. Skylar will be popped. But TLID gets the Lord. Aaron Shaky goes in. Popping the Bride of Ice. Rhapsody. Another one. And bring down Ring. Managed to stay alive with the immortality. Skylar trying to fight back, but yes,
what the fuck?
Will complete the wipeout for the cavalry.
It's a wipeout, and what a fight it was for that Lord. But man, what a take. TLID comes together, and now working on the mid lane.
And TLID with a huge advantage, a 2-0 over the Kingdom.
Team Liquid Indonesia finding themselves a match point.
Enggak. Gua.
Spirit, but man, oh man.
And bring down.
LID will get in position. RQ Hoshi, good pick off, good usage of Dyron there on that Benedetta. But things will go into place. Skylar getting in position. They get the call to start it up. Fabian's still 20 seconds away. They go in.
When he connects the wave of the dragon onto E-Dog. A double kill coming in from Aaron Shaky. Working on Dyron. Pops his wind of nature. It's going to be a one-on-one. As RQ Hoshi still working on the Lord. That's an Abba is there. And they bring down Sujin. Who's going to get the Lord? RRQ. TLID. The stuns are there. They're going to bring down Winnie. Aran will fall down. Skylar's immortality will be popped. But TLID gets the Lord. Shiki goes in, popping the Pride of Ice. Rhapsody, another one, and bring down Ring. Managed to stay alive with the Pride of Ice. Skylar, RRQ. Lord, that's Sonata is there, and they Wind of Nature is going to be target onto E-Dog. A double kill coming in from Shiki, working on Dyren. Pops his Wind of Nature is going to be a 1-on. To E-Dog. A double kill coming in from Shiki, working on Dyren. Pops his Wind of Nature is going to be a 1-on. To E-Dog. A double kill coming in from Shiki,
Pas banget nih.
working on Dyren. Pops his Wind of Nature is going to be a 1-on-1.
Pas banget sumpah. Yes, heal. Pas banget tuh. Itu pas banget, kena.
Old time rivals in RQ to respect.
Gak bohong, itu pas banget kena.
For this, what are we calling it? The double poke lineup.
Itu pas banget kena loh. Kok bisa ya?
An upcoming Menit for over 50 hours now and learning its mechanics. Hello, my name is Midgeman, and this game is a childhood dream come true for me. Staring across the fields and houses fills me with a childlike wonder, dreaming of swords and chivalry. However, like my actual dreams, this game is filled with some elements that might confuse you at first glance.
Kok bisa sih tadi?
So let's lift the confusion and put those clowns to bed. No, we're not talking about glitches. Here are 10 things I wish I knew before I played the Mana.
Kok bisa ya?
Please remember that all of this was taken from my press build, which is slightly behind where you're at with your current game, and that the game is work in progress, so features are likely to change. Tip 1. Burgage plots. One of the most unique and frankly beautiful elements of Mana. One of the first elements you'll need to master is how these slots work, because as much as people don't like to say it, in some cases, sometimes size does.
Ini kan ada 85 nih duit saya sekarang. Ya kita percepat aja nih. Duitnya semakin lama makin nambah tuh. Tuh 8, 7 tambah 2 lagi nih. Ada lagi nih para pembeli nih. Kita lihat. Tuh. Yuk, naik lagi tuh jadi 89. Tuh udah 191 men. Gila. Padahal barusan baru gak nyampe 100 ya. Kali ini saya kembali bermain game Menit tentang cari ini tanaman sayuran gitu di rumah kita, dan kita butuh banget itu bukan hanya sayuran, kita sangat butuh itu. Sempat itu pernah ya lagi buat sekitar 3 hari ya. Ini udah lumayan gede di sini, dan oke, tanpa basa-basi langsung saja kita itu trading post. Ini dia trading post ya. Kalian bisa klik di bagian konstruksi ini, terus kalian pilih trade. Nah ini dia trading post. Nah kerjanya maksimalnya 4 kerja kan. Kalian kalau bisa isi saja semuanya ya, agar barang-barang yang kalian jual itu cepat laku. Nah terus apa saja sih yang harus kalian jual? Yang harus kalian jual itu adalah beberapa barang yang menurut kalian sangat banyak kalian miliki. Sebelumnya saya itu jualan batu, dan saat ini karena batunya udah habis ya, saya gak bisa nambang batu lagi. Sekarang saya pindah menjual permata gitu, perhiasan gitu, karena perhiasan dan tambang itu udah habis ya. Kita tanya itu para pekerja, jadi pilih jualan batu banyak banget tuh. Sekarang udah no trade nih. Nah buat kalian yang pengen jualan kayu juga seperti saya ya, karena saya saat ini cuma memiliki kayu yang banyak, saya di sini jualan plank ya, kayu yang udah jadi gitu. Caranya kan awalnya gini, no trade, kalian pilih export gitu. Kalau import itu kalian beli gitu, kalian pilih export ya, menjual gitu, klik saja. Nah jika sudah begini, terus kalian klik di bagian ini dia ya. Kalian bayar sih 21 saja nih, bayar 21, klik. Oke, nah jadi nanti keempat orang yang bekerja ini bakal promosi kayu ke region lain gitu. Kalau bisa kalian tambahkan juga nih kuda kalau kalian banyak duit. Nah itu biar apa sih? Biar mempermudah jualan gitu. Sekarang tambah 2 lagi nih, ada lagi nih para pembeli nih lagi tuh lumayan tuh udah 191 men. Jadi itu cara nyari duit di si trading postnya. Awalnya itu saya bukan jualan kayu karena saya sangat membutuhkan kayu. Yang saya jual apa? Yang saya jual ya seperti yang saya katakan tadi, yaitu jualan batu gitu.
Ah. Oh.
Impressive power. Welcome to the Roman civilization. Your power is quite high.
So everyone that will play Mana Lords for the first or second get enough food. So in this video I will give you guys some very useful tips that will help you manage food supply. And it's all about skipping farms, at least until late game. So first, why are farms bad? Alright, the first point is that farms take a lot of workers, especially if you need a lot of food. The second point is that farms generate seasonal food income, which means it will only give you a lot of food at a certain season in the year. And in the rest of the year, like with the winter times, you will have no food coming in. The third point is farms are very unstable. If it's raining a lot, the success rate of your crops will go down because of all the floods and there's just too much water. The fourth point is that not all starting positions got good fertility, which makes farms even more unstable. And even if your starting position got some good fertility, it's not always close to your village, so that will really harm your efficiency. And there are a couple more bad things, but these are the big ones. And then you might ask, what is the alternative? I will explain that for you. So it starts with, in the beginning phase, you need to rely on berries, hunting, and your plots. And what do I mean with plots? Well, you can upgrade your plots so that they can farm chickens for their eggs. You can make sure they get you vegetables, and I would skip the goats. And there are a couple of smart things that you can do with the plots. So the first option is, you can make your plots very big and then upgrade the farm so that it will generate you vegetables. And the bigger your plot is, the more vegetables it will get you. So getting some very big plots will generate a lot of food. So that's a nice trick to know. The second trick is, make all your small plots with an extension chicken farms. Chicken farms are perfect because they generate eggs throughout the whole year. And it's a very nice and stable way to get a lot of food during the whole year. And chicken farms are so important. Now that you're collecting berries, you're hunting, you got some chickens for eggs, and you're farming vegetables, you will easily generate enough food for a pretty long time. And then the next thing you need to focus on is getting a lot of money from trading and getting your houses to level 2. So in the early stages, the easiest way to make a lot of money through trading is by selling planks. And you can take your time, you can just wait, triple speed, and make some money first. And once you got the money, you will need to buy trade routes, so you can import clothes, so that you can upgrade your houses to level 2. And getting your houses to level 2 is very important, so that you don't have to rely on farming. Alright, so once you got enough clothes to upgrade your houses to level 2, your village will reach a new level, and that will unlock you a new focus point on your skill tree. And the first thing you really need to focus on is getting trading discounts and making import cheaper. Third one is being able to farm goats, which will make you sell yarn, etc. But I will come to that very soon. So now that your houses are at level 2, you can make your houses generate bows and beer, which is very important to get your houses to level 3. And the bows are very nice for trading. They give you 5 denaries or whatever it's called for each bow. And trust me, they make bows pretty fast. And you only need like 3 or 5 houses that are generating bows, and you can make a lot of money. And what you then need to do is click on full surplus and then put the surplus at 110. It allows you to bring 3 bow units. You can do the math. 3 times 36 is 102, so you can put it at 102. And once you got more bows than 102, your villagers will sell all the bows that you got too much of. And you also need your houses to make beer, because otherwise you have to import it, which is pretty expensive. So those two are very important. You can skip all the other ones. And there's one more trick that generates you a lot of income. But to be able to do that, you will need to unlock a focus point at the skill tree with the sheep icon. This will allow you to being able to farm sheep, and this is very powerful. Because as you see here, I got a lot of sheep, and they generate you a lot of income, because the sheep will get you a lot of wool, and that becomes yarn, and you can sell yarn for a good amount of money. And once you got a lot of sheep, you will get a lot of yarn. So that's another very powerful trick. So this will generate you a lot of income, which will allow you to get all the gear for your units. I would select for all the armor a surplus of 200, and for all the weapons and shields 36 or 72. It depends how many units you want to have of that certain unit type. So now you should have enough gear for your militia to fight wars, and you should have enough beer to upgrade your houses to level 3. And now you can start importing food, and this will allow you to have a stable income of food throughout the whole year, even in the winter. And this way you can skip the farm. And the best way to do this is by importing the cheap food, but I would just select everything and get yourself like 50 of them, and then you don't really need to build yourself farms, but you can always build some farms for some extra food, but it's literally not necessary. And that is basically how you can skip farms and get a lot of food. Now if this helped you to solve your food supply problems, make sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Lagi bingung. Itu jelasin apa ya?
And welcome welcome to Mannerlord's Food is Easy Guide. We're gonna go over how I get my 4 food types, my strategy for everything, and how freaking straightforward and easy everything is. So the base of my build is veggies, berries, bread, and apples. The critical policies for this are pretty simple. It's just the heavy plow and orchardry. Everything else you can just kind of choose your own adventure. All right, let's start with the basics with berries. Now, berries are very, very simple. When berries are in seasonal growing on a rich deposit, without the perk, you can easily keep up with the berries as long as you have a few forager huts. Now, 2 forager huts with 3 workers each is netting me about 800 berries a year. This is pretty on par to what I'm trying to do, which make 1,000 of each food per year. As I expand my population, you can see currently I have 353 people, and I'm expanding it to be greater than that, hundreds upon hundreds more. Over here I have a couple of strategies using apples, veggie farms, and then of course having wheat and a small amount of barley. Now I'm actually not really making a lot of barley in this build. I only have 6 1 Morgan plots for barley and 15 plots for wheat. Now what's important is that I am using crop rotation on all of these, alternating them equally. So at any given year, I have 5 out of 15 plots wielding pretty good sized amounts of wheat. My goal here is to make between 300 to 400 wheat, which will turn into 800 flour, which will turn into 800 bread. One of the keys to my success is using a 1 Morgan farm plot, and the reason for this is mostly due to bugs and other issues I've encountered, along with just the way that ox work. Ox are kind of odd in the fact that when they hit the end of a line, they will turn around. So these long, skinny plots of 1 Morgan are very easy for them to plow. Another thing is you get a really good yield. Now, the issue that I've had personally when I go over 1 Morgan is it becomes just too much and it takes too long for them to plow. And outside of that, I've also had bug issues. Like for instance, within the beta patch, this was 1 farm for the barley and I got a yield of 0 on it. So it just seems that when you go past 1 Morgan, you start to encounter a ton of issues. Now with my 15 1 Morgan wheat farms and my 6 1 Morgan barley farms, I am using 4 fully staffed farmhouses with 2 oxen for plowing each, and it's doing a relatively good job. It's a bit overkill at this point, but overall it's able to accomplish everything that I want. Now,
So everyone that will play Mannerlord.
Gak maksud.
Mentality up because they are so new player, right? They are the generation player from Indo, and they can play well at M6. That's really good for Indonesia.
So you hope all the players could keep calm, just like the Sujing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, good for you, Coach. But before we turn it back, before we return back to the caster, I have a question, a special question actually. As someone from RRQ, which has the biggest, if not the largest fan in MLBB scene, do you have anything to say to the millions of fans of RRQ all around the world?
Maybe I can say it in Indonesia ya?
Yes, for sure can.
Oke, buat para Kingdom, jangan toxic, intinya jangan toxic, kita have fun aja, apapun yang terjadi, ya intinya mungkin sekarang kita dilihat dari dunia tuh dengan fanbase terbesar lah. Justru karena itulah aku pesen buat kalian Kingdom dimanapun kalian berada, jangan toxic, just have fun, dan tetap kita support dengan cara yang positif. Viva RRQ!
Thank you. Thank you, Fe. I believe your message just cheered them up. So let's check out what's gonna happen in the third game. So panel, back over to you.
Michelle, and terima kasih to Coach Fiel, former coach of RRQ, and to Popo G for sharing insights on this upcoming game. I lost track. Game 3?
Game 3. Yeah, game 3.
All right, it's been a long day, but hey, coach did say in the upper bracket finals they were down 2, and then they rolled it back.
It kind of feels like what we seen earlier today, right? When we got to see Fnatic Onyx up against Falcons. It was the same situation, 2-0. And we all know how that played out.
It is a Florida Man 3 desk.
It is?
Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Why is there hesitation in your voice?
Because TLID just looks too good right now.
Too clean?
Too clean. Unless, you know, I mean, we saw, unless RQ's just been downloading. But at this point, it doesn't exactly seem like it's completely just in the draft. Like, FCon versus FNOP felt so reliant on solely the draft. This time, I will say that there's certain, I mean, TLID, they're mid, they're EXP, and everyone just seems to be
Masih lama nggak sih
really
nih?
in tune and playing.
Lama gue mau nonton ini dulu. Ini dia lagi ngapain? Abang. Abang Ngarul lagi ngapain, Abang Ngarul?
Kita sudah punya Dani, guys. Kita sudah punya Dani. Dani.
Abang Ngarul lagi ngapain?
Dani. Where is Dani? Nice. Oke. Where is? Oh, ini dia.
Bang Harul biasa.
Nggak mau, capek. Iya, aku dipaksa mulu, guys. Siapa? Apa di sana?
Soalnya musim puasa, kok bisa mandi genteng cuy?
Iya, ngapain?
Ya, Haji Kikir kita kalahin guys. 90.000 dia membership anjing.
Enggak, gua asal bacot doang anjing, nggak segitu.
Berapa?
Ada deh.
Tapi gua udah tahu.
Iya, tapi nggak segitu. Jangan di spill tapi jangan.
Anjing, kaya si Haji Kikir.
Sejuta gua spill.
Anjing, sejuta murah amat. 5. 10 juta, 2 juta kasih dia. King Dian KT. Boleh King sekarang. Tapi sekarang ada Lord Arab is coming. Lu klip ya. Lord Arab is coming, guys. Guys, kalian boleh ketawa sekarang.
Kasih waktu dikit lah ya.
Guys, zaman DNKT dulu jadi VP, Arab udah punya e-sport sendiri.
Yellow. Udah grafik. Sudah grafik. Mana ML-nya? Anjing? Ini. Ya bukan. Mana ML-nya? Coba nonton Mas Ade.
Astagfirullah guys, itu harus PMA, Pak. Posisi mental attitude.
Ini.
Finally ban out the Hilda. I think it's a really important ban. It's been getting through, and Iran is just a monster on, and the Hilda.
Kembali lagi ya guys ya, dengan game yang ketiga antara RRQ versus Liquid ID. Aduh. Apa sih ini gua? Kenapa mic gua?
I mean, they could still try and lock in Skylar and something a little bit more comfortable. Maybe even that Wan could sneak up in here.
See, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Tapi aman deh. Udah kayak gini ya. Ini gue lagi error ininya. Udah lah biarin aja.
The response to the power pick Bruno in the middle of the draft is what really matters. So I think it's safe to say if it is open, just take it.
Zin, Matilda, Alpha, Chow, Hilda. Akhirnya Hilda dari seorang Karan di respect juga.
chose to roll the dice instead of first picking the Bruno. They go for the Suyo. Quick response with the glue and the Bruno.
Wih.
Yeah, with this glue, super early.
Wah, udah
A little
dipersiapkan.
surprising for me, but a response back from RRQ. I was waiting to see it. I thought TLID would have picked it up, but it's gonna go into the hands of RRQ Hoshi alongside the Phobius.
All right, a couple of power picks came through. I'd say a few rather, because even Phobius,
Yivi Phobius.
over again in the series, the glue as well. I wonder if that
Joy.
was worth it for Liquid ID as they close up the first phase with the Joy.
Diambil Rom.
I was about to say it. The Franco. This would have been the game for it.
They have their eyes on Edok. No way, no sir.
It would have felt good after this TLID, maybe even ban out the 1-1 just to really limit down onto RQ here. But at this point, in this phase of the game, I like TLID.
Franco Idok dimatiin. Franco Idok dimatiin.
A lot of things on RQ comes down to
Midnya nggak sih, Mas?
how they can lock down. What are going to be
Respect midnya nggak sih?
You got something to say?
Sip dulu. Romnya.
What? What's up? I said you got something. Yes, I do.
Dia habisin rom lagi berarti. Habisin romnya. Rom satu lagi nggak sih dimatiin?
It checks out.
I think the glue's going to not only keep the Phobius lane, but do a great job at diving onto this Yve and helping deal with the Suyo when the time comes. Like, just consistently jumping around.
But we gotta ask, who's gonna stop the Joy? There's nothing really to stop Joy in the tracks, even when you drop down the RWM. It's gonna be a challenge.
Question, does RRQ have a Belleric?
Oh, haritnya. Oh, goldnya yang dimatiin. Kodenya kan masih ada, Mas. Tapi kode lawan Bruno kalah jauh. Granger masih worth it untuk diambil. Apa sih ini anjing? Ya. Grangernya masih bisa diambil.
That's fair to say. I mean, RQ right now, their backs are against the wall. You know, they have this Phobius. Hold on, wait a second. Okay, Mathilda is gone. So Phobius,
Ada lagi.
when you get into the heart of the battle,
Nggak tahu.
you're gonna have to worry about this glue for one.
Yep.
And then it's gonna be hard to
Buang
chase
beat
out.
ya.
Then on top of that,
got Aaron Shiki just kicking in the face.
Halit.
How's he gonna get out?
And it looks like Liquid ID have allowed the Granger. It looks like that's the only pick left for Skylar here. Unless he has
Ini bener-bener matiin Aran.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, you still have the 1-1, but he normally only pairs that up when he has a Cho, when they have the Franco, when they have something that has some hard lock to allow Skylar to capitalize on it. So I feel like, yes, Granger probably the only choice. TLID needs to pick Rome at this point. Do they go for the Tig, maybe?
That's what I was about to say. Well, Tig can go on both sides too. So I think it's a high value target. Should lock it in, but they're gonna go in for the Valentina instead. So we're gonna have double artillery for both sides.
It's very rare that
Gue tadi udah mikirin Belleric sumpah. Demi apapun.
Crossfire. The Ghost of Jakarta likes to play fair. He likes to play safe. So picking the Valentina here is
Belleric Granger gue udah mikirin tadi. Franco nggak bisa, Franco di ban nggak bisa nangkep Joy, Belleric.
No Cho, no chip.
Tig, I mean, it's still on the table.
Tilda not open. Yeah, Tig.
There's not too many options.
Does he get thought? Hylos?
Hylos is open. Could be solid. You get the
Bisa Hylos?
You have plenty of options.
It's a counter, well, soft counter to the real world, you know, like you're able to pull yourself out. Yeet.
Well, as the clock winds down, we are going to go ahead and see
Carmilla. Glonya XP.
for TLID.
Little Birdie told me that if there's nothing left to pick, Weedy just goes Carmilla. So
when they can't think of anything, it's just all right. Let's do Carmilla.
It's just a solid pick. So let's see if TLID can go.
URRQ bisa URRQ.
Let's go over the whole
URRQ bisa yuk.
Thank you very much, panel, for breaking down, again, Game 3's draft. I think I know the little birdie they're talking about, again, with Witty and this Carmilla pick. Egon, how are we feeling about the draft?
Yeah, I like the Belleric. Even the panel called it already. It's a good counter up against the Joy. Whenever the Joy decides to go for the electrifying beat rhythm, just one Wrath of Dryad can actually do the job and stun the Joy and keep them off their tracks.
Ah, man, the Belleric pick has been very interesting throughout M6, even back in the Swiss stage. great at locking down certain choke points, especially when you want to be able to move around the RWM. But we'll see if it's in RQ Hoshi's plan to take it to a game 4 ahead of them instead of getting swept here by TLID.
Wah.
Because right now they need the
Darren membantu dengan sangat cepat.
play as they go ahead and start things up.
Apa lebih cepat? Favian ya?
From game 1, game 2.
Gak tahu kenapa lebih cepat Favian gitu.
Like this in the early game, really putting pressure on, knowing the limit of how much they can get away with, and even holding on to this.
Speaking of game number 1 and number 2, this is what has been happening. Aran just really dominating the XP lane, not letting Dyren play. He did use the Hilda twice, now it's going to be the glue, but still, it looks like it's the same story. An aggressive start on the XP lane.
Aggressive start right now. So far, that's been the trend or the theme of this series alone. Again, against these two.
Lihat si Suzin. Dia tuh dalam hati dia tuh nih ku balas sekarang ya.
Just like our panel kind of broke down earlier on, it just seems like, you know, some of the challenges that TLID face there going forward.
Nah, Idok. Depanin Idok.
You know, they had a great time too. They were one of the first teams or the first.
Depanin aja Idok, nggak apa-apa. Depanin aja. Ah, Idoknya nggak pede. Idoknya nggak pede tadi.
Still no casualties for both of these teams, but this is RRQ Hoshi just saying that you can't repeat what happened during game number 1, game number 2, where you just keep on invading and invading without any response from the kingdom.
You know, I think we have to wait to see what happens, especially after the first turtle breaks out, just because the nature of these two lineups and how they're going to work, it's already up. It's already going to be spotted up and started up by Sutsujin, so already using just the real world manipulation to go ahead and just take it as quick as possible. So RQ Hoshi will get the objective locked in and secured. First turtle of the game. Good decision there to go ahead and just take it, blitz it down.
Yeah, RQ Hoshi clearly having they're decisive now. They're really going for these kinds of decisions, wanting to commit, and now they have a slight advantage compared to game number 1, game number 2, wherein TLID was really controlling the mid river.
Milan ntar ini bisa keras anjing.
We'll see it once again. Skylar taking a couple shots here against Aaron Shiki, and when we look at these rotations and how they want to go, whenever you have the Suyo, you want to be able to put pressure on the jungle, and that's exactly what Susujin will do this time around. Like you mentioned, it's them in this game 3. It's RQ Hoshi.
Si Sujin sekarang. Nih gue pakai hero kenceng. Tangan gue main.
But with Team Liquid ID's lineup, you know, this is a more of a slow burn, if you will. If you can't get things going.
Dalam hatinya si Sujin tuh kayak gitu. Nih gue main. Tadi gue gak bisa main. Gabelin. Ulti dia. Lepas lagi. Pulang Aran. Dia nggak bisa itu. Dia nggak bisa gebuk-gebukan soalnya Aran.
Protecting that gold lane, and now they might make a play. Witty's gonna be fine. Still holds on, and that's the thing, you know, with this Carmelo pick is once you are able to go ahead and tank up some of that damage and then lay down a curse of things up. I'm wondering if they'll be able to capitalize on that, because Yehezkiel will most likely, I would say, the majority of the time at least take the real world manipulation like he has right now. Yeah. But we could see him change things up, you know. So far, every single lane though has just been a duel back and forth between the XP and the gold, while both teams the trio mid lanes go and rotate together, leading into this objective now. Second turn of the game going to be smarted up by RQ Hoshi, but it looks like this time around TLID still won't make it in time. So now 2 for 2. RQ Hoshi building up on the gold lead now. Nice and comfortable at this point.
The thing is, even if we've seen a lot of onto the bottom lane though.
Enggak, gue nggak beli game.
4 members of RRQ Hoshi rotating down bottom.
Oh man, everybody's gonna show up for this one. Witty taking a couple shots. RWM set up to cut them off.
Oh, but yes, has his own RWM. Now
the for TLID trying to work on Edok, though. Good. Aduh, telat datangnya. Mati Skylar. Tas. Riz mati juga. Daironnya mati juga. Telat masuknya lagi. Sujin.
Really great positioning from Aaron Shiki, even not to go down. And they were put pressure behind the turret.
Telat masuk dari tadi tuh.
But RQ Hoshi wasn't able to capitalize on it the way they wanted to.
Yeah, that was a good goal for Yeskiel to pop the real world manipulation, forcing Idok to cast right away the Wrath of Dryad. That's why it gave an opening for Fabian to just go for Skylar with the electrifying beats, because there was no catch during that time. They were able to maximize the kit that they have because they know that RQ Hoshi expended a lot on trying to bring down Yeskiel.
I'm even surprised because Drian went in, he flickered forward, but still couldn't cap out a kill from it. So they're still killless here for RQ Hoshi. But the fact that they got the objectives early on, you know, it's nothing too crazy. The gold lead that they had was diminished. So this is the adjustment time, and also where TLID's lineup starts to shine a little bit more. Maybe still they have a hard time getting this next turtle, but by the time we get to those lords, TLID will have the itemization that they need. We'll see, they're getting in position to go ahead and contest this as they rotate up here towards the top. Aaron Shiki starts it up, and
yang tadinya leading jadi enggak loh.
but Idok there also on the front side. Both teams still, Yehezkiel holding on to the RWM, has it available, so both junglers now getting in position. Skylar a part of this fight too. Doesn't have that much just yet, but they're gonna go ahead and stand off for the turtle. Taking a couple shots both.
Tapi tetap yang gue lihat paling bagus tuh. Mati dok. Enggak. Mati tuh. Mati dia.
Still alive. They're gonna force off the turtle here. Susagen was starting it up, but with their jungler down, TLID can't secure it just unless Archiki actually brings it low enough for Susagen. Taking a couple shots there, but Skylar there to help him out. Archiki with a flicker though. Oh, he's got to walk away.
Rakus.
Bring down Aaron Shiki and gets the turtle as well.
Rakus.
And there you go. Again, the pendulum swings now for RQ Hoshi. Able to pick up the objective now, 3 for 3 in the turtles. We'll see if they can maintain the lead. Skylar definitely wanted to get revenge from earlier on, and he got it. Able to keep things together, but Fabian.
Satu orang ini ngapain dia masih ke sana? Ada blue buff, ada red buff.
That was almost, you know, we could have almost said that was a solo kill, but it wasn't. But still trying there, of course, fighting in the jungle right now. But TLID has some work to do. They got to be able to go ahead and farm up what they need. Aaron Shiki, you know, hasn't had the best time to farm up on the Bruno, and Skylar as well. Both gold laners start to shine later on, but even looking at the itemization, still working on the third one. Aaron Shiki, again, he had the Hoskloss rushed. He's now got the Berserker's Fury, and over on the other side, Skylar, BOD, Hunter Strike, now locked in, still working on the next. Once that Malefic Gun comes up, that's always where we see the power spike, especially with the Bruno. So Witty, dropping the Curse of Blood.
Forcing out the flickers from RQ Hoshi, 2 real world manipulations connecting. And TLID just trying to soak up the damage. Here comes the thought, forced to use the split to try and walk away.
Yeah, he's gonna just go ahead, get out of there, burning the split.
Orang nggak ada hasil. Tapi leading lagi, RRQ 1000.
So they're just trying to hold on to the tier 1 again. These are so crucial leading into that first lord. All for the space. Witty though.
Hop. Balik nih leadingnya nih. Hop. Wih. What the fuck? Dairen.
Oh man, Dyra jumps in again, but under the turret. We'll just get told to sit down. No airtime for you. So 2 down, the 2 for 1 exchange. Lord is up now. RQ Hoshi still holding on to a lead, but you can see how how they have to dissect these team fights because of the fact that we also usually see 2 real-world manipulations come up, and they have to play around that. Yehezkiel taking a couple of Rhapsody shots.
Sakitnya.
Trying to get out.
One more. That's Sonata. But Witty is there to try and make sure to block out the damage coming in from Skylar. Now the Lord has responded here. RQ Hoshi, 5 members are surrounding the Lord Pit.
RQ Hoshi's gonna blitz this. They're gonna try to delay it for TLID. There they go, but it's secured.
Masih Lord kecil, masih Lord kecil. Jangan bangga, jangan bangga. Masih Lord 1 itu.
Not even full committing, not even full diving onto the members of TLID. They're able to force TLID to walk away, to retreat, because the damage coming in from Skylar with the Death Sonata is just too much.
Commit.
Quick work on the mid lane turret. They have the
Bawahnya.
They have the Lord pushing in. BOD now for Susujin. Also Skylar, you know, he picked up the Sky Piercer earlier on. So there was a little bit of push there from Fabian down in the bottom side. Might still try to cut that wave a little bit longer. Well, the rest of the team deals with this Lord. A Malefic gun now for Aaron Shiki. Enoch going in position.
Whoa!
Paired up with a real manipulation. Here goes and the Queller to bring down kill. One member down for TLID. They're trying to get him make quick work.
Itu dia loh Skylar.
No inhibitor turrets will be taken down, but RRQ Hoshi, you know they ain't playing around. They want to go for more. They're gonna pop the energy shields in the mid lane. TLID has to defend this.
Energy shields are gonna be popped. They still hold on, of course, after just that first push with the Lord. But man, RRQ Hoshi,
Itu dia loh Skylar.
go ahead and cap out some kills, get turrets. This is exactly what they need. Fabian though might be starting a fight.
Oh, okay, electrifying beats is there.
Fabian, lari dia harus.
For TLID, and they managed to save the inhibitor turrets.
That's really one of the things that TLID has to do. You know, if they can get the Wrath of the Dryad ultimate out from Enoch, then that's a big piece of utility that's gone, because that is locking down the members of TLID.
From Enoch to RRQ. From RRQ to Enoch.
And so that's why you see them working so hard for it, even if it's Aaron, even if it's Fabian to an extent.
Hop,
they're gonna
hop,
press it in again.
hop. Skylar, hop. Gak mati Skylarnya. Hop. Season 1. Arahnya mati, dapat 2. Good. Satu lagi nggak sih mas? Fabiannya mas di belakang mas. Mas, midnya aja nggak sih mas?
Fabian on the run, still in the mid lane. It's going to be pushed by Sutsujin. He's all left alone. Fabian, oh, he gets out, but look at the base.
And mas,
with a beautifully executed play, will manage to extend the series and take game 3.
RQ Hoshi takes a game in the series. It's not going to be a sweep today.
Asli itu kayak ngepur itu.
Great adjustment this time around with the draft, and the execution was exactly what they needed.
Agresif banget tuh tadi.
Now can they continue to do that? Can we get another 5-game series on our hands, just like we had in our first matchup? Well, for RQ Hoshi, that's what they have to answer. Can they continue to do that? Can they taste the victory again?
Jairan ganteng banget.
I think they can. They have to regain back their momentum. They have answered the problems that they've been facing for the
Tapi sorry geng, gue nggak bisa live lagi karena gue capek banget hari ini. Thank you nanti. Bye bye. See you and see you. Kalian nonton aja ya di MPL. Dadah.